Hello everyone, good morning, and I wish you a happy Sunday. Just let me know, can you guys hear me loud and clear? Let me know in the chat. Okay, so I believe everything is clear. I hope you can hear me loud and clear. And we'll start with US30 Dow Jones Industrial, and I'm on the daily chart on US30. And before I do start, keep in mind that all the analysis that I'm gonna share with you, it's my personal analysis. That's how I'm looking at chart, and I'm not suggesting you to look at chart just like me or copy my analysis. If my analysis goes with your own analysis, then it's good, it's okay, keep it. If it's not going with your own analysis and it's contradicting, then just avoid my analysis, and yeah, don't trust anyone else's analysis blindly. Okay, folks, so we're gonna start, and we are on daily chart on US30, and that's what I see. Okay, we saw last week that price came all the way down from this level, that's a premium zone and that's a discount level. Price came all the way down and hit this discount PD area, this fair value gap, this BC, buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency. And what do you see here? Price came down, hit it, left aggressively. And in the recent video that ICT posted like 2 days ago, 2 or 3 days ago, about immediate rebalance, and that's what it is. Price came all the way down here, tapped into this candle's high and moved aggressively. So when price does that, a immediate rebalance, we don't expect to see price returning back to this level again and going below it. Okay, after price does a immediate rebalance, that's what our mentor is teaching us, and that's what I see here. Price hit this fair value gap, filled it and left aggressively after doing immediate rebalance. Okay, so the bias that gonna be for the upcoming week for me is gonna be bullish. That's a confirmation. I'll walk you through other confirmations that I got from the daily chart, 4 hour, 1 hour, 50-minute chart, for me to say that I'm bullish on indices. Okay, so that's what I see, immediate rebalance. I'm not expecting to see price coming all the way down here and hitting this, revisiting this fair value gap again. Okay, that's what I'm not expecting. And you can see here we do have a BPR, balanced price range. And what do we know about BPR? A BPR is a gigantic pool of liquidity. When price generates BPR, just like it did here. And what is a BPR? Okay, for the newer folks who don't understand that, when you have a fair value gap right next to another fair value gap. Okay, this fair value gap is not valid yet as we don't have a candle next to it, but I'm expecting to see a candle opening right next to it and creating a fair value gap inside here. Okay, and as you can see, we have a CB right here, sell side imbalance, buy side inefficiency, and this CB, it's in premium. How do I know that it's in a premium? Where is our dealing range? That's not our dealing range. Okay, our dealing range is from this candle's high to this candle's low. That's our swing high, swing low. That's our dealing range. Okay, once price leaves this dealing range, that's when we will consider this dealing range from this high to this low. Okay, not now. This is not our valid dealing range right now. Price is inside of this fractal, okay, in this swing. So we'll consider this price fractal as our dealing range, and we'll do our analysis inside this range. Okay, not outside, because price is yet to reach up there. So once it does, like suppose once it shows willingness to go revisit, suppose we have a BPR here, then we will mark and analyze this price fractal here. Okay, not right now. So that's the reason I only marked this price fractal, and price is in a premium range from our dealing range from this high to this low. If you measure it, our 0.5 level, the premium The midway of this price fractal will come somewhere here, and that's from where I'm expecting to see price dropping and revisiting this BPR and then going higher. Okay, I'll talk about it. I'll discuss like why I'm expecting to see a revisit of this BPR or price hitting this BPR, why I'm expecting this once I take you guys into the 4-hour chart, 1 hour and 50-minute chart. It will make a lot more sense to you why I'm expecting to see a revisit or a tap into this BPR again before we expand higher. Okay, keep in mind my bias. Okay, I'm using the word my bias is bullish for the coming week, and that's how I'm doing my analysis. That's the first confirmation for me to expect a bullish price action, this immediate rebalance of this daily fair value gap. Then price didn't got rejected from this fair value gap. Okay, that's a CB, and from a CB we expect to see price remaining or getting support towards the sell side liquidity. And what do you see here? Price didn't respected this CB. Okay, it came all the way up, it broke this CB, so this CB becomes an inversion. So once we have a fair value gap right next to the CB, again this CB and this fair value gap will become a BPR. Okay, it's not yet that BPR. I'm expecting to see price generating a BPR here. Once price generates its next candle, okay, when the next candles open today at 5 o'clock, we will have a BPR, a balanced price range. So what I'm expecting to see in the daily chart, a revisit to this new week opening gap. Okay, that's a new week opening gap. Don't confuse with it a volume imbalance. I see some of you marking like a new week opening gap as volume imbalance. Don't do that, and if you are doing it, you are wrong. And if you are confused like how to know if it's a new week opening gap, new day opening gap, or a volume imbalance, you can easily use this indicator that I'm using, new week opening gap, new day opening gap by Kryptonite. Is free on TradingView. You can use this indicator, and once you toggle on this indicator, it will show you the recent new week opening gap, or as many as you want. Okay, you can do like 4. It will show you 4 weeks of new week opening gap, then you can do 10, 20, as many as you want. And here is our new week opening gap. So what I'm expecting to see a revisit of this new week opening gap. That will be our near term easy target, high probability target. We'll talk about it in great details, like how I decide my targets. I have my bias, it's bullish, but the real deal is when you talk about the targets. Okay, so I'll talk about it once I take you guys into the 50-minute chart. There I'll show you like what levels I'm considering as my high probability target. Okay, so now I'll drop down to the 4-hour chart where things will become a lot more clearer. I hope so far you are enjoying my analysis. If you are enjoying it, I expect to see a thumbs up from you. So let's start. Okay, we have our daily BPR here, our CB, daily CB, our new week opening gap here, and let's analyze the 4-hour chart. We do have a fair value gap inside this BPR. Okay, so that's another confirmation for me to expect to see a tap into this BPR and inside of this fair value gap before we expand higher, as we have an unfilled fair value gap here. Okay, so if I categorize fair value gap by power, like which one is like more powerful, more efficient in delivery, then I will mark like in the second position the unfilled fair value gap. The first position I'll give it to the BPR. BPR in my eyes is one of the strongest fair value gap. Then I will mark the unfilled fair value gap, then the normal fair value gap. Okay, and the normal fair value gap will be in the third category. So I want to see price coming all the way down here, tapping into this fair value gap. Okay, not going, keep in mind, not going below this BPR and then this fair value gap. If price is going below this BPR and then this fair value gap, then it will hunt or deliver liquidity below these relative equal lows. Okay, I'm not expecting that. I don't want to see price coming all the way down and taking out relative equal lows, as my bias is bullish. And another confirmation that I got from the 4-hour chart to expect bullish price action is from this candles week. Okay, I know some of you know and most of you don't know that price uses a candlestick just as it does a fair value gap. Okay, yes, I know it may be something new to you, but that's how price reacts to a candlestick, a candle's big wick. Just like we expect to see price delivering from a fair value gap, the same way I expect to see price delivering from a long big candlestick. Okay, in a fair value gap, we measure the fair value gap, and then suppose outlining a CB. Okay, that's a CB, and if I measure it, I'm gonna expect to see a reversal from the upper quadrant and the midway. Midway will be the ideal scenario for me to expect a reversal from a BC. Okay, that's a BC. I mentioned it as a CB. That's not a CB. That's a BC. And our ideal scenario to expect to see a reversal from a BC is the midway. Okay, so that's how I look at big large candlestick, and you can see that price came all the way down, hit the upper quadrant, 0.75% of this candle 4-hour candlestick, and then it went higher. Okay, just like we expect to see in a fair value gap. Suppose that's a fair value gap here, and you are seeing price action like this. Price came all the way down here, not closing a candle's body inside the fair value gap and leaving it aggressively. You will outline it as a IOFED, and that's the same thing that price is doing right here. There's a big candlestick, price came all the way down, hit the upper quadrant and left aggressively. That's a IOFED candlestick, institutional order flow entry drill. And when you see that, when you see something like this, you should know the price is aggressively bullish. So that's like the second confirmation for me to expect a bullish price action in our coming trading days. Okay, there's another confirmation from my side, and I'll show it to you guys once I drop down to 1-hour chart. You will see there's a breaker block here. Okay, it's not visible on the 4-hour chart, but once I take you guys into the hourly chart, you will see it. So that's our daily fair value gap, and from our dealing range, what was our dealing range? From this high, okay, to this low, that's our dealing range, and inside this range we will analyze our price action. So this is the high, our buy side liquidity is resting above here, and all of the buy side liquidity that you see above these candles, it's our internal buy side liquidity, as this candle's high is inside of this big range. Okay, so that's our high, our buy side liquidity is resting above here. That's our new week opening gap. I'm expecting to see price revisiting this new week opening gap, and if possible, the best for me to expect a reversal in price will happen from this fair value gap. Okay, this is a place for me to expect the ideal reversal. Price can reverse from the new week opening gap from this CB, and for me to expect the ideal reversal will be from this fair value gap up here, which is in a deep premium. If price is not like stopping and delivering aggressively, okay, this will be my last line of defense to expect a bearish price action in coming trading days. Okay, suppose price reversed from this daily fair value gap. I'm using the word suppose because there's not a great deal of confirmation towards the sell side for me to show you guys here on 4-hour chart, but once I drop down to like 15-minute chart, that's when you know why I'm expecting to see a reversal from this daily fair value gap. Okay, so suppose price is reversing from this fair value gap, what I'm gonna expect to see price hitting this daily BPR, and if price is still going below, coming down, then I wanna see price using this 4-hour fair value gap as IOFED. Okay, price can come all the way down here, then hitting this fair value gap and leaving aggressively. So my point of view for coming week is something like this. Okay, I'm expecting to see a reversal, and that's what I'm expecting to see on 4-hour chart. Now I will take you guys into the 1-hour chart where things will get a little bit more clearer. So as I told you guys that there was a breaker block and it wasn't visible on 4-hour chart, but on hourly chart it is visible. As you can see, that's a higher high, lower low, and this lower low cleared out liquidity from this low and then this low. Okay, so that makes this up close candle a breaker block. And just as I teach you guys how do we use a breaker block, once price closes a candle's body above these are last up close candles, that's when a breaker block gets activated. Okay, right here in this, the price action that you were seeing right here, price didn't activated our breaker block right here. Okay, it was just consolidating. All of this was a time distortion. It was waiting, price was waiting for the right time to activate this breaker block and then deliver towards the buy side. And as you can see here, price at this candle, price closed above this last up close candle. If I zoom in a little bit more, it will become a little bit more clear to you. That's our last up close candle, and as I teach you guys, we expect to see after price close the candle's body above a breaker block, we expect to see bullish price action. Okay, that's when we engage. And as you can see here, price at this candle, price closed the candle's body above this breaker block, then price generated a fair value gap, which makes this breaker block as a unicorn. Okay, when I say unicorn, I'm referring to a strong PDA. Okay, like this is a strong PDA. Once price generates a fair value gap inside a breaker block, that becomes a unicorn. And as you can see here, price came all the way down. Okay, feel this fair value gap and left aggressively, just like we expect to see from an ideal breaker block. That's an ideal breaker block scenario. Just avoid all this choppiness here, all this consolidation. Okay, it was in the Asian range, so just avoid it. Watch market from this candle. Suppose from this candle, and you put this candle right next to this candle, and just avoid all of this mass here. This will become an ideal breaker block. Okay, so this breaker block is the third confirmation for me to expect bullish price action in our this week. Okay, our first confirmation was from this fair value gap from the daily chart. Okay, that's our first confirmation. Then I showed you guys another confirmation. These candles, price rejected from this candles week from the upper quadrant. That was our second confirmation to expect bullish price action. And now that I'm on 1 hour chart, you can see we have a breaker block right here. That's our third confirmation to expect to see a higher prices. Okay, and we have our fair value gap unfilled, 4 hour fair value gap, and as you can see, this fair value gap is also unfilled on 1 hour chart, and that makes this fair value gap a strong fair value gap. Okay, so that's another confirmation or another reason for me to expect to see price dropping inside this BPR and hitting this 4 hour unfilled BC, buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency. That's my second confirmation. Okay, my first confirmation is this BPR, the daily BPR, to expect to see price coming down here first and then expanding higher. Okay, I'm telling you the logic behind me expecting a drop first. I'm not just telling you, okay, we see a CB here and now we are expecting to see a drop. No, I'm taking you inside my head and I'm sharing a great deal of details with you why I'm expecting to see a reversal. Okay, first tap into this BPR and then expanding higher. Why I'm expecting that, I'm sharing with you those logic here. That's the unfilled fair value gap. Okay, that's my first confirmation. And if I drop down to the 50-minute chart, I'll show you guys the second confirmation, these relative equal lows. Okay, now that these relative equal lows are here, price generated these relative equal lows here and price generated relative equal high up here. So that these relative equal lows are third confirmation for me to expect to see price tapping into this PPR first and then expanding higher. So now, does it make sense to you guys what I'm telling you, like why I'm expecting to see a reversal first? Price hit this daily CB. Okay, we know that a CB is here to provide support for price towards sell side liquidity. That's our first confirmation. Price got rejected or showed willingness to reverse from the CB, then price generated relative equal lows, second confirmation. Third confirmation, we have this unfilled 4 hour and 1 hour fair value gap, which is inside this daily BPR. Okay, So in short term, I'm bearish until price clears out these relative equal lows and taps into, if possible, this 4-hour fair value gap, unfilled fair value gap. That will be an ideal scenario for me to expect a reversal. Okay, I hope you guys understood like why I was expecting to see a reversal. Now let's talk about why I'm expecting to see price expanding higher. Okay, why not I'm expecting to see price coming all the way down and clearing out liquidity from this level here, as this level is a fair value, sorry, relative equal lows. Okay, so why I'm not expecting price to come all the way down here, I'll talk about it right now. And the first reason for me to expect higher prices is because of the relative equal high price that price generated throughout this month and left it untouched. As you can see, we have relative equal high here above this new week opening gap. We have relative equal high here, unfilled, a lot of unfilled fair value gap here, and relative equal highs here, here, so a lot of relative equal highs. So that's the reason I'm expecting to see higher prices now that price delivered sell side liquidity efficiently. In my eyes, price delivers sell side liquidity efficiently, and we should see price remaining heavy towards the buy side liquidity. Okay, price offered liquidity here, sell side liquidity at this low, and it generated a lot of relative equal lows, and price cleared out all of the relative equal lows, provided sell side liquidity efficiently, and then it hit this daily fair value gap, which is in discount, and then it got reversed. Okay, so that's the reason I'm expecting to see higher prices after price steps into this PPR. Okay, so now let's talk about which ones are my high probability targets. Okay, so my high probability target on US30 will be this equal low. For the coming week, I'm expecting to see a reversal, price remaining bearish until price takes out this relative equal lows. Okay, so this will be my first high probability target. So this will be our target 1. That's what I would like to see. Okay, I'm not giving you a signal. Don't take my analysis as a signal. If you wanna see like if I'm right or wrong, then you will see. Okay, just I'm telling you, just don't use my analysis as your own analysis. Go into your own chart, do your own research, and then mark your own stuff. Okay, don't copy me blindly. That's what you should not do. And that's our high probability target 1. Our second high probability target will be this BPR. So this will be our second high probability target for us to expect price providing liquidity towards the sell side. And after price fills out all the liquidity and clears out liquidity from this level right here and taps into the BPR, we can expect to see price coming all the way up and filling this new week opening gap. So this will be my third target. Okay, after we see a reversal, this will be my third high probability target. So now you saw like what are my targets. I'm expecting to see price coming all the way down here, first offering liquidity below these relative equal lows, hitting this BPR, then reversing. And once we see the reversal, okay, once it happens, we can expect to see price revisiting this new week opening gap again. What's gonna be our low probability target? Our low probability target will be this breaker block. Okay, that's what I don't want to see. If price is going below this BPR and then this BC, we are really bearish. And if price is doing that, our last line of defense will be this breaker block. So I'll mark it as low probability target, and this will be our last line of defense to expect bullish price action. Okay, So that's where I don't want to see price coming all the way down here and revisiting it. That's the level I don't want to see price revisiting again. I want to see price not coming all the way down here and tapping just into this PPR and then reversing. Okay, so this is our low probability target. This is our last line of defense to expect a bullish price action if price is not respecting this breaker block or this fair value gap right here that I showed you guys on hourly chart. Okay, our unicorn, if price is not respecting this fair value gap which is inside this breaker block, we can expect to see price clearing out these relative equal lows that it generated and revisiting this BC again. Okay, that's what I'm not expecting. Okay, I'm expecting to see price remaining heavy. That's my whole analysis on US30, and if I put it into a little bit more like eye friendly, then that's what I'm expecting to see. Price coming all the way down here, generating a breaker block inside this fair value gap. Okay, so it will be something like this, and then tapping into this breaker block and then expanding higher. And as you guys know that my high probability breaker block setup forms inside of a higher time frame PD array. Okay, so that's a higher time frame PD array, so I'm expecting to see a BPR forming in, a breaker block forming inside this PPR and then this BC. Okay, so that's what I'm expecting to see for the upcoming trading days on US30. So that's the whole analysis. I hope you guys understood. If you guys have any questions, you can let me know in the chat, and after that I'll talk about NASDAQ. Okay, we'll analyze NASDAQ chart. Okay, so I hope everything is cleared, right? I talked in a great details. Okay, so I hope you guys don't have a question, and if you have a question, just watch this video again or rewind it, or you can go into my mentor's YouTube channel. If you are confused with any other concept here, you can watch those concepts in my mentor's channel. And I hope everything is clear. Now we will go into our NASDAQ or US100 chart, and I will not share my high probability targets with you all on NASDAQ as I did on the US30, the Dow Jones. I'll just give you my perspective, what I'm expecting to see, and you guys will know what's my high probability target, what I'm expecting to see on NASDAQ tomorrow once I talk you guys there in my live stream. Okay, so we will start with the monthly chart here. I'll just give you guys my bias here on NASDAQ, which is bullish. Okay, I'm expecting to see higher prices on NASDAQ just as I'm expecting to see on US30. So now I will share the logic behind me expecting bullish price action. I'm just not telling you that I'm expecting bullish price action. I'm literally telling you in great details why I'm expecting to see a bullish price action, or why I want to see algo delivering towards the buy side liquidity. And now that I'm on the monthly chart on NASDAQ, you can see that we have a order block right here. We have a bearish order block, and price has been bullish for the last couple of weeks here, and that's our lower low, new lower low. That's our breaker block. Okay, I will talk about it once I drop down to weekly and the daily chart. This breaker block is way more visible, and it makes sense on the weekly and the daily chart. Okay, and from this breaker block we got an immediate rebalance. If you don't know what I'm talking about, the immediate rebalance, you will have to watch a video that our mentor released recently in his YouTube channel. Okay, you'll have to go back to our mentor's channel, and if you will have to watch it, and after that you will understand what I'm talking about, the immediate rebalance. So that's our monthly bearish order block. That's our order block low, and now we can see prices inside this order block. Okay, our mean threshold of this order block is right here. So my near term bias will be price hitting this mean threshold of this monthly order block. Okay, that's my bias. I'm expecting to see price hitting this order block and then reversing, or it may not reverse, okay, as we have relative equal highs here and then a unfilled CB right into the monthly chart. Okay, so that's what I'm expecting to see from the monthly chart. We are inside of this order block. I want to see price hitting this order block and then showing willingness to reverse, as we have on lower time frame relative equal lows and unfilled fair value gaps. So let's drop to the weekly chart, and on weekly chart you can see that this BPR aligns with the mean threshold of this order block. Okay, if I make it visible onto the weekly chart, it will make more sense to you. This mean threshold, watch carefully how beautifully it aligns with this BPR here. Why is it a BPR? We have a fair value gap here, that's a CB, and right next to this CB we have a BC right here which failed. That makes these two candles a BPR. Okay, we have a fair value gap here, we have a fair value gap here, so that's a balanced price range. BPR, balanced price range. Okay, so we expect to see a reversal from a BPR, as it's a gigantic pool of liquidity. It's one of the strongest, okay, it's the number one strongest PD array in a fair value gap. That's how I categorize fair value gap through power. Okay, BPR is the most powerful, and as you can see we have this order block mean threshold here inside of this weekly BPR. So I'm expecting to see price hitting this BPR and this monthly order block mean threshold and then reversing. So I'm bullish until we reach up here. Okay, now so let's talk about the the monthly breaker block that I showed you guys here. That's another confirmation for me to expect bullish price action on Nasdaq. Okay, on monthly chart, as you can see, that's our breaker block, and if I mark this breaker block, the candle's body, what do you see at this candle? What do you see here? That's our breaker block, that's the candle's body. And why I'm marking candle's body? Because that's where most of the liquidity is. A candle's wick, that's what you see. A candle's wick that you see is here for the manipulation. The most of the volume, the liquidity is inside of a candle's body, and that's where you will get the precision. And what do you see here? Price came all the way down, hit the opening price, the closing price of these candles. Okay, and that's what ICT mentions as a immediate rebalance. Once you see it, you should expect to see price not revisiting this level again and remaining bullish. Okay, that's what you expect to see once you see a immediate rebalance, just like we did here. That's our monthly order block, and if I drop down to the weekly chart, you'll see that that's our monthly order block. And what do you see here? That's the immediate rebalance. That's the aggressiveness that you want to see, or you expect to see from price once it does the immediate rebalance. That's our breaker block from the monthly chart. So if price is not hitting this BPR, and suppose price is reversing from here, or suppose price hitting this BPR and then reversing, our last line of defense to expect higher prices will be this breaker block. Okay, right here. And if price is going below this breaker block, we are really bearish. Price will hunt this low, will fill this volume imbalance right here, and we do have lower targets. Okay, but I'm not expecting to see bearish price action yet. I'm expecting to see a revisit to this BPR, as we did an immediate rebalance here. That's the main confirmation for me to expect to see price hitting this BPR and then this order block, monthly order block. Okay, and after that, after price hits this BPR, if price is still remaining bullish, then we can expect to see price clearing out this relative equal high, which is inside this weekly fair value gap. Okay, keep in mind that we have a fair value gap here, so price may just reverse from this fair value gap. Okay, so we have a lot of confirmation at this price fractal. Okay, if I mark it, at this price fractal to expect to see a reversal in coming trading days. We have a BPR, we have our monthly order block mean threshold, we have a weekly CB. So 3 confirmation for us to expect bearish price action after price hits this BPR. Okay, until price hits this BPR, I'm bullish. Now let's go on to the daily chart. This IOFED is another confirmation for me to expect bullish price action. As you can see, there's a fair value gap. Price came all the way down here, tapped into this fair value gap, and remained heavy towards the buy side. Okay, so this IOFED institutional order flow entry drill is another confirmation for me to expect bullish price action. So that's it from my side on Nasdaq. I'll talk about it in great details tomorrow in my live stream. I'll share my targets with you all, what I'm expecting to see, how I'm expecting to see Nasdaq delivering tomorrow in the AM session. So that's my long-term bias. I'm a short-term trader. I trade on 3-minute, 1-minute, 5-minute chart. So very rarely that I care about the long-term bias. It's just there. I can do the analysis, so I do it, and it helps a lot for me in my trading. Okay, when I'm trading on the lower time frame, I know that my bias is bullish. So what I'm gonna do once I drop down to like 3-minute, 1-minute chart, I will only look for buys, not short. That's how I do it with bias. Okay, so I hope you guys understood. I didn't share the targets here on Nasdaq chart. I'll keep that in private, and I'll share it with you all tomorrow. So that's it for today. That's our bias session. That was our bias session. I hope you understood. If you did, I expect to see a thumbs up from you, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow at 8:15 Eastern Standard Time, and we will talk and we will analyze chart with no hindsight, but with live price action. That's where we learn most. Okay, I can analyze a hindsight chart all day, and you will see like, okay, this guy is genius, but very few can do it in the real live price action, and that's what we are doing. Okay, and when we do it, we learn the most. We can learn from the hindsight, but it's not as effective as you will learn from the live price action. So I hope to see you there in my tomorrow's live stream. Till then, take care. I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Peace.